Gentlemen, and I do mean gentlemen, we need to talk about the impending collapse of the Patek Phillipe Nautilus market. Of course, quick wrist check on the wrist. We have the Patek Phillipe Ellipse, white gold, blue dial, unbelievable 1970s. Now, gentlemen, as you may know, the watch market is undergoing a collapse. The punters are realizing that the emperor has no clothes. Okay, the emperor has no clothes, and what does this mean? And what does this mean, my friends? My friends, what this means to you is that the punters, the tomato cans, the crayon eaters, they're all realizing that the emperor, the Nautilus, is a dated, an old design. It's a bust down 1970s design. It's a very dated watch. It's kind of like a pair of bell bottoms. Look, bell bottoms are bell bottoms, okay? You can't fool older people all the time. Now, look, let's compare Gerald Genta designs. Let's compare two beautiful watches. The Royal Oak, take a look at any Royal Oak. It is a timeless design classic. It transcends time. You don't know when this design was made. Was it made in the, I don't know, 70s? In the year 2050? Now, I'm stealing this information from a comment somebody left, and I believe this is absolutely true. You don't know if it was made in 2020, 2050, 1970. You really don't know. Well, definitely not 1950, because it is a futuristic design. And you know that Ben Hamayas, whatever his name is, that Francois, that French fart king, low-life CEO, he's been milking the Royal Oak design for the last 20 years. I mean, he's been living off that. He hasn't had any other hits. You know, the Code 1159 is a piece of garbage. Everything else they have is garbage. Now let's go back to the design. So the Royal Oak is a timeless classic. And you know what else? I made a comment. What else is a timeless classic? I believe Rolex Datejust 41. Rolex Datejust 41. I think with the smooth bezel, it is the classic. The smooth bezel is the way to go. That's right. Rolex Datejust 41. Why do I believe that this is the classic design? Well, look, they're very clean. If you look at the Royal Oak, the Datejust 41, they're both very clean, timeless designs. Especially, again, if you look at the 41 in a blue, with the blue or the green dial, those are absolute classics. I believe they will stand the test of time. That watch with a smooth bezel is an absolute classic. Okay, now, am I buying one? No, I don't need one. But I do believe that watch will be an absolute classic, just like the Royal Oak. Again, I'm more of a Royal Oak guy, or a Patek, more of a classic look here, ladyboy size. Now, here we're going to the VIP entrance, my friends. I'm going to give you the full VIP, the champagne room experience. I don't know if you can hear me. This is the production quality. Production quality here is very high, as you can see. This is a high-budget Hollywood production with the Velvet Mafia involved. Now, again, compare the Just 41 smooth diesel blue dial, and look at the Nautilus. The problem with the Nautilus, again, Gerald Genta, everybody says, the guy's, he's a design god. Oh, he's, whatever. Look, Gerald Genta is like a fashion designer, okay? And these guys have hits and misses. Gerald Genta has had many misses, okay? His designs are all based on their time. It was a fashion thing, okay? Bell bottoms were in, okay, it looks he's making bell bottoms. If it's, long skirts, short skirts, polyester, whatever, brown polyester, wide lapels, that's what he was doing. Whereas, so that's why he's only had I think the Royal Oak and maybe, look, the Pole Router, Yeah, it's nice, but it is, you know, it's of its time, okay? Everybody knows this is a 50s, 60s watch. You know, he had some IWC. The Ingenieur, I think, is kind of a fake Royal Oak. It's like a poor man's, it's a working blue-collar man's Royal Oak. But yeah, I don't know what other designs has he had that are. I mean, he's had his own company where the designs were a little bit baroque, shall we say? Baroque, you know, a little bit too much, right? Wind here, a lot of wind, my friends. I mean, the wind here is like the hot air that the boiler room watch Muppet channels are feeding you guys. Let's see how this watch looks against this dirty gravel. Unbelievable but true. Unbelievable but true. Anyway, my friends, now why am I wearing this type of watch? Is this old fashioned? Yes, it's of its time. This watch is, you look at this and you recognize this instantly as a product of late 60s. This was probably designed late 60s, I would say. And maybe came out in the 70s. But yeah, this was definitely a product of its era. And so is the Nautilus. The Nautilus with those errors, those wide out errors. You know, the form doesn't follow function. Again, look, I love design. You know, I'm a guy who likes nice stuff. You know, look, baby suede. I don't know if you can see this. Unbelievable. Anyway, look, guys. Bottom line is, I don't mind a little bit of excess, but the Nautilus, the form doesn't follow function. Again, you got that stupid case with the, you know, the gaskets. It's like too much of a gimmick. It's a gimmick. It's designed to look like a, you know, like a ship hatch or a, you know, diver's 18th century diver's helmet or whatever bullshit, nautical bullshit theme. That's what it is. It's a novelty nautical watch, just like stupid. What's the Neptune? The Neptune, another disaster. Another disaster from Patek. And by the way, you look at those. What do you call it? Those Neptunes. The dials are exactly, you know, like a 5711 or, you know, whatever. You know, they got the same, you know, power reserve, date, wheel, same watch, different face. Look, these guys. You have to realize these Swiss. They're really not innovators. They're really the most boring people. Have you ever been to Switzerland? Seriously, all you got to do is go to Switzerland and you'll understand why these people don't innovate. I mean, they're very, very overall. I mean, engineering, okay, looks great, unbelievable, but design, the Swiss have really, you know, they're not really good at design. I mean, sure, there's some areas, you know, you've had, you know, whatever, graphic design and, you know, whatever, you know, or how about those. You know that furniture, USM, hauler, you know, those steel, whatever. That's genius, right? But you know, it's relatively dull. I mean, it is classic, but it's dull. Those guys haven't had any innovation, you know, the Swiss basically they just copy the same stuff. They just rinse, wash, repeat. Let's take the same basic. Watch, you know, the dial layout. We'll put that on a Nautilus. We'll put that on a Neptune. Put that on a whatever. Interchange, you know, JLC, blah blah blah. Look, I'm not a movement geek. I'm not an expert on movement, so I don't want to get into all that. I'm just a shallow guy. I'm just a shallow guy. Shallow, tacky, flashy guy. And you know, I appreciate just quality design. I don't want to get ripped off with garbage, you know, with the garbage that these people are putting out. And the Nautilus is a very dated look, and I think people should wake up and realize that. The bracelet, everything about it is just, you know, looks like you're like a. I'll tell you what it looks like. To me, the Nautilus is kind of like a Lexus from early, like 2004. I mean, it's a relatively classic look. A 2004 Lexus, if it's clean, you know, it's hard to tell from the, you know, something that looks of today, right? I mean, all the cars got more rounded or whatever, right? But it does look dated. And what else can I tell you? What are my thoughts? So I think once people realize what is going on with Nautilus, and they realize this is basically a busted down design, they're going to dump those watches. We're already seeing things slowing down. I think when the market rebounds, when the watch market does rebound, at some point it will. Now, I don't think it's going to go bananas, but the market's going to come back, and Nautilus is not going to be one of those watches that comes back, with the others. Okay, it's just like with stocks, right? In stock, sometimes you have a bull market, like in the 90s, we had a big bull market, the dot-com boom, and after the crash, the leaders, the new companies that came back, it wasn't Cisco, it wasn't Yahoo or any of those guys. You had new leaders. I mean, you may have had, I don't know, one or two, whatever, but overall, the leadership is going to change, and the Nautilus is not going to be the leader of the new watch, the next watch bull market. Okay, the Nautilus will not. So, gentlemen, this is my advice to you. This is my financial advice to you. Again, I should say I'm not a financial advisor, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. And again, saying that it's for entertainment purposes only, you need to realize that Nautilus will not come back with the rest of the watch market when things resume. I believe Royal Oak will rebound. It's not going to be bananas or whatever, unless they have some crazy innovation or novelty. Royal Oak, I think, is going to be a classic. I think the Datejust 41. Look, whatever. It's not a money maker. You're not going to get rich. It'll hold its value, and that's it. But Nautilus, I think those prices will come down, and they will never ever come back. Okay, it's sort of like in the stock market. You had those in the 1960s or the 70s. That's called the Nifty 50. That was kind of like whatever, the FANG, the Facebook, the Google, whatever we have today. But after that market collapsed, those leaders, the Nifty 50, those stocks never came back. And I think that's what's going to happen with Nautilus. It's going to be a very dated look, and people are going to say, you know what, I don't need this. They're going to realize, they're going to wake up and say, you know what, this design just doesn't translate. Look, take a look at this, right? This design is a 60s, 70s design, okay? This is not a current design. Young people aren't going to wear this watch. Well, actually they would, if they're like kind of cool and hip, like yours truly. So yeah, that's what's happening, my friends. Anyway, listen, leave your nasty, vicious comments below. And by the way, if you want a watch review, you want a review of your collection, a brutal, honest review, send an email with pictures or video of your collection to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com. brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com.